The latest office innovation is a microchip implanted in the skin and designed to replace the traditional keypad for opening doors, using the copier, even buying food in the cafeteria. To some, it's right out of 1984, but Jamie Yuccas found willing workers in 2017.
Do you think this is the future?
It is the future, and we look at this as being responsible.
Todd Westby is the owner of 3 Square Market. By next week, at least 50 of his 80 employees have signed up to become bionic, using what's called a RFID transponder in a microchip meant to make the workplace experience faster and more efficient.
So when you have the chip, you're just going to hold it up here and all those same options will come up?
The implant, which has been FDA approved, is the size of a grain of rice and is injected under the skin between the thumb and index finger by a licensed piercer. This company is offering the chips, which cost about $300 a piece, to its employees for free. Westby says they are not GPS enabled yet.
You're not going to be tracking your employees around town to see what they're up to and what they're doing?
No, we will not. It's for entrance to the building, logging into computers, making purchases in our break room market.
Westby says even if GPS became available, he would not use it on employees.
The concerns are, what information am I storing on this? What information am I giving away?
CNET editor Dan Ackerman says this technology raises red flags over privacy.
Anything could really potentially be hacked, especially because most of the actual information, it's not encoded on the tiny device under your skin of your hand by itself. You can never leave it behind. You can't really turn it off.
However, assembly line worker Eric White plans to be the first in line. He thinks someday the chips could save lives.
Somebody who's allergic to something or has a condition, they could scan your hand and all the information is there.
A promising self-service for some, a dystopian nightmare for others. Either way, the future is here.
You want my...
Japan has long been famed for its sexual culture. Whatever your taste or fantasy, it's catered for somewhere here. This is the country that invented the Love Hotel. So what on earth has happened to Japan's youth?
Thousands of firefighters have been tackling fires across Europe. In Portugal, about 1,500 firefighters were deployed to extinguish forest fires in the Castelo Branco and Santarém provinces. 10 villages have been evacuated. Authorities say more than 75,000 hectares of forest have been destroyed by fires this year alone. 64 people have been detained since January for causing fires. In Italy, a major industrial fire filled the skies above Rome with smoke and caused traffic congestion. An arsonist is suspected to be responsible for the second blaze in 2 weeks at the city's Castelfussano Pinewood Centre. In the Riviera region of southern France and on the island of Corsica, emergency services battled a number of fires that have left 8 firefighters and at least 15 police officers injured. The French Civil Security Authority has asked the European Union for help and to provide 2 Canadair planes to contain and extinguish the wildfire.
Meanwhile, a German teenager who ran away from home after converting to Islam says she now wants to go home. The 16-year-old, known as Linda, reportedly told a German newspaper she has had enough of the violence. Officials say Linda was found on Saturday as Iraqi forces liberated Mosul from ISIS militants. She is currently recovering from a bullet wound in a military hospital in Baghdad. The teen will be questioned by Iraqi officials next week.
This is engineering on an absolutely gargantuan scale. What you can see is taller than Big Ben, but that's only part of it. There's a third more under the water, weighted heavily at the bottom with iron ore to keep the thing floating stable in the water.